But looking forward to this question, actually. Kyle asked an interesting question. He says, in episode 9, you scratched the surface of forgiveness, and I'd like to know your thoughts on how to start that journey. How to start the journey to forgiveness. Well, there's 3 words: forgive and forget. Now, I like the forget part because most people don't do a very good job on it. Most people, oh, I forgive you, and then keep bringing it up, every hour on the hour for the rest of their life. I had an interesting conversation with one of my sister-in-laws not long ago, and she asked the question. It was kind of inappropriate, I thought. Oops, I said too much. But she asked me about, how did I forgive X? And I'm like, because I did. Well, how did you keep moving forward? Well, once you forgive and go, forget it, you don't move, you just are going forward. I like what you said here about part of the journey. Because the journey on forgiveness, I think, when you study what happened in South Africa, with the apartheid, they had these big things where people went in and told what they did. I murdered 52 people. And they said it out loud. But here was the deal. There's no punishment for it. They just wanted to hear what happened to the sons and daughters, the fathers and mothers of these in these prisons. And they wanted to get the truth. In fact, I think they were called the truth trials or something like that. I still look back on that and go, there was something magical about that. We all want vengeance for everybody else. There's this little trial going on right now with these very wealthy parents who bought their kids' way into prison. And I got to tell you, a little bit of me, every time I watch this, mom and dad donate $250,000 to go to the school, and little Edna gets in. And then $250,000, it's illegal, it's bribery. And then the parents complain that they get 6 months in jail. And one of my thoughts is, they should have 20 years. And then I have to catch myself. It's like, Danny, relax. It's not your story. And I think all of us at some level have our own little scales of justice, but we keep our eyes wide open. Lady Justice is supposed to be blind. Now, I know we live in the United States, and that's not always true. But when we look at people's transgressions that against us, we always need to go right back in the mirror and look at the transgressions we've done to others. There's a line, and I think it might even be a prayer. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. It's in the Lord's Prayer, and I think it's one of the most subtle pieces of poetry the world's ever seen. And most people can't even fathom what I just said. It's weird because these same righteous Christians who go to church, we have a joke in Utah, is that people here pray on Sundays so they can pray on each other the rest of the week. P-R-A-Y, P-R-E-Y, a little joke, maybe not funny. But the line is clear. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Every weekend, the 1 to 2 billion Christians on the planet say that some variation of that prayer, and they never listen to the 4 letters that make the entire thing. And I always call it as we forgive those who trespass against us. And if you're going to forgive people, you got to forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass. The more you forgive, the more you're forgiven. And Kyle, I love your question, but now we're starting to sneak in. I mean, it's a field I'm pretty strong in, but we're starting to straddle that line into faith, religious studies, religious education, theology. But what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, Kyle, is take those 4 letters, A-S-W-E, ASWE, and I want you to take ASWE. I used to tell my students today's lecture is on ASWE, and it took them a long time to figure that out. But I would like you to spend some quality time thinking about ASWE. Think about times you've hurt people and then I just want you to weigh, how did you deal with it? Did you say you're sorry? Have you ever been totally forgiven? I have. It's amazing. So how do you start the journey? You write ASWE on a piece of paper, and then you look at the way you forgive others, because that's how you will be forgiven.